Hello and welcome to the Tuesday show. Here we are with you on the 23rd of January 2024. Another very good week so far. Bit wet, bit horrible, bit grey, but we did have a lot of fun at the weekend. So, yes, very nice to be back at it.
Yes.
You all right?
Yes.
Now you're 50 and officially old?
50 and old. Yes, no, I'm all right. I'm very well. Apart from I've got a cold coming, got the lurgy coming. So, but no, I'm fine actually. Yeah, lovely weekend. Got we all got together. Nice to get away and meet up and have a mooch around the museum and stuff, and have food and drinks and just general catch up. Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Well, it sounds lovely when you put it like that, but when you go for the whole hog, what makes it? If anyone ever travels with us, you'll think twice, because nothing ever goes smoothly. We always describe it as it's drama and it's trying to herd cats, because to try and get all of us together, it is literally a nightmare. So my drama started because where it should have taken 4.25 hours, took 6.25 to get up, because I got stuck on what's commonly known as the circular car park of London around the M25, going round on that one. So I got stuck there for 2 hours, and then finally we got in and all the rest of it. And but at that point, obviously, dinner was getting late and various things. So unfortunately, the restaurant at the hotel was closed. So we decided to go out for a meal, where that took 2 hours to turn up as well.
Yes, well, say we booked a table for 7:15.
7, yeah.
Yeah, and we finally got our food at gone 9 o'clock. After
Gone
a few
9 o'clock
bits
at
of
night.
complaining and not very happy were we at the end of the day. And it's a shame because the place where we went, the food was really nice.
The food, I can honestly say, the food was lovely.
But you get to that point where you kind of passed it, if that makes sense. So you just like get it down you and you want to leave. So because everybody was tired and we know got a long day on Saturday. So yeah, it started off a bit on the wrong foot. The Saturday were nice though, weren't it? It was just
nice.
really cold.
It was.
Walking between them hangers was yeah. Let's say it's a bit breezy.
Yes, it was. And so I've got a couple of photos. What I will do is I'll make this live on the website by the time you guys see this. At the moment, it's hidden on the actual main site. But I did take a few photos, around about 100, from the actual day of us out there and all the rest of it. And some nice reference shots down in here. I got quite arty with some of them.
He has done well arty with these ones.
I know. Yeah, that's it. Look, if you do need some nice detailed ones, because obviously these do go full screen as well. We have got some nice big full screen stuff as well, especially if you like engines. So yes. I've gone through and we've got all of the ones down in here. If you've never been obviously to Duxford before, it's definitely worth it. Just go when it's warmer. It's actually, to be honest, the hangars are fine because they're all heated now. It's just walking between the hangars, which is particularly cold. But yes, so anyway, I got lots of reference shots as well, like as you can see. Need to know about the wing fold, don't we, on this thing? So when I ever get around to do mine.
Organic wing fold, you there?
That's it. So I got plenty of those ones, and all the other ones like wing folds. I don't know why I'm drawn to wing folds, but we've got lots of those. But you see, we've got great aircraft down in there. You've got pretty much everything you can think of, and different versions of and everything. So into the restoration area. So obviously the Shackletons now getting the business.
Yeah, your Halifax front end.
Nice. Halifax front end was down there. Yeah, we had the
salamander, the old ankle, Volkswagen, whatever you want to call it, being stripped back. I think they're going to redo it.
They're going back layer by layer, so you can see all the paint layers through it. Look.
Yeah.
So
if you want the original RLM, whatever it was, it will be there somewhere, like the blue. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. There's the blue.
I'm surprised we were there taking paint samples.
Yeah. Pick a bit off for a swatch.
Yeah, exactly. Look, top match. But yes, they're obviously restoring and painting that. We were saying we like the Shackleton, don't we, in bare metal?
Yeah, I tell you what, the Shackleton in bare metal, when you see it like that, it actually looks really cool. I think I quite like it in just the bare metal. I think it looks quite nice like that. They should leave it in bare metal. It's again, very, very nice.
Just go back to that picture of the Shackleton. One of them, whichever one. Again, just that there would make a really nice vignette.
It would, yes. Very, very nice. Yeah.
Under restoration, and you can make a real nice, interesting little sort of model diorama, whatever you want to call it, with something like that. So yeah, you don't have to do it big. You could use obviously either the Revell one or the Airfix one. You wouldn't have to do it in big one. But yeah, there you go. There's an idea for your Halifax, mate. Just do that front end.
I just do, well, that'd be it. With the Halifax, I save myself a lot of work and do that.
Just that,
Little vignette, as you say. I'll say it's under restoration.
Yeah. Bit of some shelving behind it as a backdrop. Beautiful.
Absolutely, it'd be fine. Be absolutely fine. But that'd be one way of getting around the problem, not having to do the rest of it.
Is that Fuller with his hat on? Is that John with his hat on?
What, there? It is, yes.
That is John, isn't it?
It is John. I have got some pictures of you guys in here, roughly. I think there was one of them somewhere around in here. But yes. But obviously, over on the montage, I took some of, obviously, the B25, get me references all down in there, and some of the others. But yeah, my arty shot, this will be the thumbnail for today, I think. I took
that's a good thumbnail. Yeah, that is a cracking thumbnail. Yeah.
And I say, amazingly, there's not many people around it either. So
no.
But
just
yeah, if you go through the photos, you will see them. Some of them, to be honest, I got quite a few pictures of my finger in, so I've had to delete them. And but you guys are around in here on some of them, I'm sure. Oh, look, there you go. There's a good one. There's Andy and Michelle, and there's you and Keith. Keith down in there as well. So, but yeah, I know there is the odd pictures I've got with you around. So yes. Very nice. There you go. That's John just pointing something. Again, another side of his head.
Yeah, just side of his head with his hat on, look. And the two blokes behind thinking, what are you doing?
What is he doing? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
We were just mentioning how much a new tooled lysander is needed in Definitely 48 and 32nd. Yep. I think it's and if Airfix really want to pull one out in 24th, then happy days. But I think we do a definite upgrade, I think, for a lysander.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is. And then you say, when you get next to it, you forget how big this thing is. It's a hell of a lump.
Yeah, they are a proper lump. Yeah, and they've got a bit of a wingspan, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah, no, big old lumps, but very, very nice indeed. So, yeah, it would be lovely to see one of those.
Cool.
But anyway, what I'll do is I'll link down below and everyone can go through these at your heart's content.
I might send you mine from the references. I've got some from the land warfare bit. I don't know, because it's quite dark in there to take photos, but I'll send you mine.
I must admit, I didn't take any in there because it is proper dark in there.
It's a shame, though, because it's quite a cool haul, isn't it? As in how they've done it, because they've made like little dioramas of real full-size vehicles, tanks and artillery pieces, and it looks really good with the mannequins in uniforms and whatever. But like I said, the lighting in there is awful for photos, but it's moody. Yeah. But yeah, if you do get a chance or you're thinking to Duxford, go. Definitely worth a visit.
Definitely have a look. Because also, it's not just the museum, it's what they're in as well. Like when you see the architecture, obviously down in here, your sort of 1930s hangars, so they're all original, all in wood. And as I was pointing out, how comes their hangar doors can last, 100 years, but my fence only lasted 5?
Yes. Better quality workmanship and wood.
Yeah, probably. Yes, definitely.
I don't know. But, built to last.
Yeah, definitely. I think they had proper wood in those days, unlike the whatever balsa wood they use these days. But they've got some great stuff. They are having a bit of a change around in there at the moment. But you can still basically get to absolutely everything, which is nice. And you'll definitely see some aircraft you either never seen before or you've never even heard of. Because they've got really unique collection of stuff down in there. So very nice. If you do need some stuff for a V1, then there you go.
Yeah, and a launcher, bit of a launcher. Happy days.
Got your launcher stuff. But you say there is vehicles and everything else down in there. So some very famous stuff as well. As we found out.
Yeah, the tail with the little story on the tail behind the 111 tail, and then obviously the 109 in front of it. So good day out it was, weren't it? We enjoyed it. So the one plus point I was about saying for going in January is it's not very busy. So you can
definitely quiet.
Kind of take photos if you're into that without people, standing in front of you or walking or just generally being in the way.
Yes.
But the downside is it's bloody freezing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely a little bit cold.
That's a nice arty shot as well, isn't it? I like that.
I was trying to do arty. What was the one I did on the tail? That was a hurricane. It's this one. I was trying to get some light coming off of it and trying to be arty.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
nice.
See, look. See, you can see all the different little bits. So, failed horribly, but, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, very nice. But anyway, it is a mixture of new and old, and don't forget, most of this stuff flies still, weirdly. So, yes. So, very, very nice indeed. So, but anyway, highly, highly recommended. We did have a really nice day. It just was a bit bitter out on the old tarmac between the hangars, because obviously it's like, how many mile long is it between this hangar and the beginning?
I don't know. It's
a length of an airfield. Yes.
Yeah, and it's a bit flat in it and open there, so...
Yes, but we did meet some members and some people as well as we were walking around as well, so it's lovely to speak. Well, no, we didn't speak for long, but to be honest, as you probably saw, I looked like an extra from Stalingrad because it was that cold.
Yes, with his scarf wrapped around his head. Yes,
everyone spotted you and Andy and not me because I was dressed up.
Yeah, you're in disguise.
I was in disguise, but no, we did have a really nice day and everything, and we did have a nice weekend as well. And I have to say, the Chinese meal on Saturday night was probably one of the best ones I've ever had.
Yes.
And to say that...
We'll put a link up for anybody
Put
who's
a link up for that
Walden.
one. If you're in Saffron Walden and you want a Chinese, honestly, the service was brilliant. And Jade Garden.
Jade Garden, weren't it? In Saffron Walden. If you're there, look them up because the food and the service was amazing.
It was. Absolutely top-notch. Can't
really
fault
enjoyed
that at all. Yes. Very nice.
But
anyway, then it was back down to earth. And I've been cracking on, obviously, with the B25, which is technically now ready for a little bit of paint. So, where are we? Go here. So, I've masked it up. Matt sent me down the mask set, which is absolute must on something like this, because trying to go around and do it by hand. Although I did cheat, because you know those, they do the little bits like a jigsaw?
Yeah.
Just do it myself. I can't be bothered. So, I did cheat on that one. And but yes, so technically it is done. I have to give a shout out as well, kudos, because the clear parts on this, I'm going to take these off because they keep falling off. So, but the actual clear parts are such a good fit that when I tested them out and put them all on here, I didn't even glue them, and you could literally throw it and it wouldn't come out. They are literally a really, really nice fit down onto those ones. So they're on. I've done the usual thing with this is that they're on, but it's only tacked it on. So if we need to, later on, if we get dust or anything else like that, we can take them off. So to tack that, all I did was the usual little bit of crystal clear. And again, we've literally just done a couple of points on these to put them in. So anything that goes wrong, we can pop this off and go in. But they've got some really nice little latchy type areas, how this hooks in, and the front, they go in really, really well. The top turret, obviously, that isn't either. That's just tacked in place for masking. The actual turret needs to go in it yet, so that'll come off afterwards. And down the back here, because it's got the bags on the back, I'll paint that separately and mask it. We put the panels on, so it's got the armoured plates on there as well. Again, this is a little bit different. And one of the things we spoke about last week was these. So this is the gun deflectors. So big thank you to everybody who answered our question of how the hell does that work. So lots of you got back in touch with us, and thanks for your kind comments over on the actual YouTube page. And a lot of you were pointing out this said system. So what it actually has is the deflectors. So you can't shoot your tail off, basically. And apparently with the Lancaster, you know, it has the turret here. It looks like a fairing. Apparently it's not a fairing, it's so you can't shoot your tail off because the guns will not go across it. But apparently the Canadian ones, it's a different system, it's an electrical system, so it's got a disruptor into it so you can't shoot your tail off either. Or the cockpit, which was a fair point because I didn't think about it. If they accidentally fired forward, you could shoot the pilot. So again, that's why the fairing on the Lancaster's done with it. But apparently the Canadian built ones, they had an electronic disruptor, which means you couldn't fire through your cockpit, which would be a bad day. Which was just definitely one. So you just have to hope your friends around you don't shoot you. Yes. So anyway, this one technically is now pretty much all sorted. We're all done. So probably tomorrow, maybe, I'll get this into primer. It will get a primer coat on it. We'll let it settle for a couple of days just to make sure we are seamless and we've got no problems or fit issues or anything else like that. And then what I'll do is probably next week, I'll then push on and we'll start to, go through the motions of obviously, painting and stuff and all the rest of it that goes through with it. But in the meantime, as we're waiting for all that to dry, I am going to crack on then with the kite or the tiger moth. Got some references of that one as well, although they are from a distance. But yes, it turns out they are silver.
It is painted silver dope linen or whatever it is, isn't
Dope
it?
linen, that's all it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so anyway, we've got that one as well. So, got that one coming along as well. And just on my side, I know I spoke about it on Friday, but the lovely people, and I have to say that because I didn't pay for these, have sent me the Magic Factory. So, they obviously, because in the spirit of YouTube, I'll be giving these a glowing review because I didn't pay for them. No, you won't. But just saying. But no, what I will do, obviously, I will get a review of these done. And say, you would have probably heard me yapping about it last week about these. Looking forward to the carrier. And again, it's funny because I said about I wouldn't mind building a carrier after the last one, which was a Mouther's job. But this one is 1/700 scale, so a little bit smaller. Looks very, very nice. So, but anyway, I will do a review of these, probably get them done tomorrow, both of them, and then they'll appear. Members, you'll get them first, and they'll appear up on the old internet over the next couple of days. But yeah, both look very, very nice, I have to say. So, a big thank you to Magic Factory for sending me those. Very nice of them.
Cool.
Good. What have you been doing? Anything exciting?
I've been brush testing, actually.
Oh, nice.
So, let me just flick onto my head here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been doing a bit of paint practice. Just pull out a smidge because you can't really see him. And I've been testing these Vallejo brushes that we've just started to stock. So, this is the Pro Modeler range, which is their top of the range, shall we say.
Yes.
And then we've obviously got a 1, 2 and a 0. And I thought what I'd do
spelling that with one L or two?
1.
Oh,
Look,
let them off.
Here, look. Pro Modeler, look. 1.
Oh, that's it. Fair enough.
So yeah,
I'll let 'em off.
I quite like these. You know,
Are they
bits
rubbery?
coloured.
Are they a bit
No,
rubbery?
no.
Or
It's just the wood, and they've colour coded them, aren't they? I think for different. You know, they did different.
Yeah, I tell you what, it reminds me of. It reminds me of the old Patronus F1 team.
Yes,
with the black and that colour, isn't it? That colour,
and that green.
Very close.
Yeah. I wonder where they got the idea from, but I like it actually. It's quite a nice combination.
Yes.
The colours, but yeah, I've been testing these brushes out, and what I've been doing is I got some old dragon kits figures. So, as I mentioned before, I think last on Tuesday's show, which obviously is a members show, this was one of the first releases. So it's an old one. This is from I think 1992, something like that.
Yes.
And he's here. Look, so that's the pointy bloke. This one. I thought, well, I'll just give him a go because these heads aren't the easiest to paint compared to resin. So we'll see how the brush holds up a bit. And Gen 3 colours used. And what I've done is with this head here, the little head, I've done a little tutorial. I did it yesterday afternoon, evening.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just uploaded it onto our thing to be edited, onto our OneDrive system to be edited. So we'll put it up as a little standalone video, but I'll just put my hand behind it. But actually, I don't think it's come out too bad for a plastic head. One thing as well, you can give them the Clint Eastwood look because they ain't got really defined eyes in the mould. Do you know what I mean? So as long as it's dark and you paint the lids, you can't really tell. So yeah, that's what I've been doing really. It's just doing a bit of paint practice, obviously, if you're doing the figures for the base me and filler doing, but also testing out some paintbrushes. So I've got to say, and you know, I know we're selling them and everything, but actually they're really nice brushes. I would recommend them, and especially for the price. I think they're really good quality brushes for the price. So yes, and if there was crap, I would tell you they were crap. But all right, they are good.
I think that's the thing at the moment as well. We were talking about pricing and various kits getting expensive and stuff. It's one of those things. At least the sundries seem to be holding their own. It's not like paint suddenly gone right up in cost and glue and give it time.
Don't jinx it, eh?
Don't jinx it, but give it time. It seems to be that everything else is holding station at the moment, but yes. So, but no, very, very nice. I'll have to get some of them for myself because I think my, we won't talk about my brushes.
No, let's not.
I'm more disposable with mine. That's why I go through buckets of these. You know, the little micro brushes. They're not micro brushes at all. These are eyelash glue applicators, and you can buy about 8 million off of Amazon or eBay for $5. So, but yeah, one use and disposable. So, yes.
Well, again, it is what it is. But yes, and other stuff, Rise, it's been a bit quiet. I'm going to get back on it this week because obviously it'll be last week to the lead up with the weekend and other things going off. Been a bit busy. And work-wise, we've had pre-orders in and out. So we've had in the Achilles, what's it called, from Andy's Hobby Headquarters Achilles to Bigham. That came in yesterday. Yeah. They've all gone out today. We've got the Marlock coming in from Tamiya tomorrow. So, pre-order on that's been invoiced. I think we had some invoices go out last week as well. Oh, books, weren't it? We had the Duke Hawkins books in.
Yes, they came in.
So they come and gone, and obviously there's some on back order that you've not got yet or not come in because they've not been printed. So I think the Hurricanes one, the Corsair, which we'll mention, but they'll be in soon. As soon as they're in published, we'll get them and we'll get them out to you. So yeah, been busy really. Good.
Definitely. I was just looking at last week's YouTube comments. As I said, if you want to comment or anything, you want us to discuss anything, post them up in today's comments and then we can go back and look. And obviously a lot of you are mentioning about the turrets, of how they basically add an interrupter or a basic deflector. And as I say, doing a little bit of homework on this one, looks like the Mitchells had two different types. You either had the sort of dome one or literally it's like a plate. To fire them off. The early ones had the flat plate, where the other ones have the dome system. So big thank you to everybody who mentioned those, and I spoke about some of the details on that before, especially with the Lancaster. So big thank you to you guys. Also, apparently we spoke about last week Skippy, the green and
the
yellow
kangaroo.
Skippy. Apparently means it made in Australia.
All right, well that's
so
fair enough,
whilst we have the red tractor, oh no, that's just meat, but farm.
Farm tractor, yeah.
Farm tractor we have on ours. But yes, that's nice. The A6 Intruder 72nd one apparently is out and available. So that one's quite nice. I'll have to get hold of one of those. We were talking about that, me and Matt. I'll get one in for a review, definitely. The other thing we were talking about was the IL2s. The one that we did miss off the list was Accurate Miniatures. Very correct.
Yeah, I did think they'd done one. I was unsure when we was on it last week. I had some in the back of my mind but I weren't 100% because I knew they'd done the Axe. But yeah, I don't know what that kit's like. I don't think I've ever seen it. Have you?
I don't think I have. To be honest, Accurate Miniatures back in the day was very difficult to get hold of because they used to go really quickly. As soon as they were available, they used to get hoovered up. But
presume it's been reboxed though a few times by people.
I would have thought so. Yes.
Italy's reboxed it, or even Academy themselves because they own the molds, don't they? Somebody must have done it. So Revell, have they actually reboxed anything? I don't know. But scale mate.
The usual suspects for Accurate Miniature stuff normally is Academy, isn't it? And a bit of Revell occasionally do the reboxing, but. So yeah, sorry, we've got a plane that's very rumbly out here today. So, but Anyway, Matt, as you've impressed me to paint figures for his 1/35 scale armour, which gives me perspective. 1/48 scale figures for planes and work for dioramas, but not to put in the planes. Less figures for 1/48 than with 1/35. Start with the figures a little larger is a good starting place. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, do it. There's plenty of tutorials out there to watch for people doing it. So, yeah, why not? I do. I do like trying to figure out. I think it does give a sense of the scale or a human touch, whatever you want to call it. Even if you put in a pilot in the cockpit, like when we did that P40 with you and put the pilot in it, I don't know, it just adds something to just an
object.
Brings
it to life. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
And again, like I've done as well, is that one little trick to do, and I've done it with some of my in-flight ones, is that when you have the pilot, especially if he's got a navigator, you do him with not just the generic, hands-on lap sat there, to give him a little bit of movement, so either moving the head. So on the F-16, I did the 32nd F-16, I've got them both looking down one side as if they're looking that way for a reason. And I think I did it on the F-15 as well. We had it, and I had one of the guys got his hand up. So, it just gives them a little bit of movement and life and brings them together instead of sort of generic, looking forward, flat, stone-faced, Yes, definitely. Rigging. We spoke about rigging last week. Airfix had a similar system with rigging of the main wings. We were talking about, obviously, with the Tiger Moth, the way that they've done it very well. Apparently, back in the day, the Hadley Page had it as well. So it was done the same way. So you could rig it all in and then put it over. Yeah, the 400. So, so there you go. That's handy. Just see these things are coming around.
I'm surprised again, like our ICM's done that. And obviously, if Airfix have run it back in the 70s or 60s, whenever they did it, why is it kind of not the norm way of doing rigging? Because it makes sense, doesn't it,
It
to
does,
sandwich it and don't see it and not be drilling holes all the way through or filling it or whatever you need to do. And then it's got something to bite to as well, obviously, because once you super glued your bit of rigging down to the underside of a wing or the top side, whichever one you're doing, once it's sandwiched in, it's actually quite a strong bond, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, not going to be a problem with that.
No.
Very interesting. Anyway, new releases coming along the line. We spoke about it earlier, but it's the new Duke Hawkins. This is the book on the Corsair.
Yes.
Very nice. And again, the Greek Corsair is definitely something a bit tasty, isn't it? That's definitely an itch I need to scratch, I think, just to go to town with the weather in, really.
Yes.
But yes, there's something about the sort of Corsairs. Obviously, they did the Phantoms and the others, but the Corsairs, I think, seem to weather more than anything. So
it's got that sea camo, hasn't it? So
it fades and it just Well, I suppose it's where the area they operate in as well. It's quite a harsh condition with the heat over there, and obviously oil and heat. You get some funny things happen then. So very, very nice. But anyway, it'd be a fantastic book. Definitely one to look out for in the very near future when that one becomes available.
Yep.
In other news, well, there we go. We've got the preview is out for this year's catalogue of Italeri.
It is.
Some interesting bits and pieces down in here. So we've got trucks.
Well, the new 112th Lancia Stratos. So if you've got your Lancia Delta that they did a couple of years ago, there you go. You've got a proper car with that. I used to love that as a kid. That car, I just think it's just ace looking. Don't know, especially in Alitalia livery as well from the rallies. I just think it's just a cool looking car, and they're tiny, aren't they? Tiny things.
Tiny little things.
Tiny.
Yes.
I actually seen one in real life. I think helicopter museum. Coming back up the M5, and there was one of them, not in that livery or whatever, but there was one coming up in one of the lanes near us. Just like, it looked ace. It looked really cool.
Very nice. Very nice to be said about that one.
Plenty of re-releases, and if you look down the bottom, there's an F35C in 172nd, which is a new tool.
So yes, it seems to be they're all jumping on the bandwagon with the old F35s these days.
Yes.
Going through as well. Jaguar got the 2-seat one.
Yeah.
Which I've built, so can highly recommend that one. We did that before. F111 Raven as well back. So some nice stuff down in there. AMXs and various ones as well. So very nice indeed. Again, more of the classics down in there as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the obviously the A20 Boston.
Yeah.
Which is the British one of many of the bomber version with the glass nose. They're doing it, which is the old AMT kit. It's an old kit now, and we were saying it again. It's one of them. I think one of them aircraft that needs an upgrade in 48.
Yeah.
Probably an ICM job, or even perhaps HK might do theirs, which would make sense. They've got the 32nd one to downscale it if they ever get around to doing it. But it's one of them aircraft because it was used on many fronts in many versions of it. You know, the gunship ones were cool, weren't they, with all the nose arts and stuff. I think there's a lot of scope for that kit for the manufacturer to get their money's worth out of the moulds, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
if they design it right. But the thing above it, which is the tanker thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the box car, wasn't it?
Boxcar, but that's a fire tanker, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, the one that caught my eye, obviously, was the 48 scale Cessna 172 on floats.
Everybody needs one of them. Obviously. We all need those.
So it's something a little bit different.
Yeah, why not? If you live in Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh, if you just go back a minute, Phil, sorry. Again, 48 F35C. In the bottom corner, a new tooled one. So they're doing 7nd and 48th one.
Yeah. So, which then completes their lineup, isn't it? Because they've done them all then. That'll be the last one then. I think they've got them all sorted. Got you covered on all of those ones.
Yeah.
So very nice down in there.
Yeah.
Again, nice to see that we got the Merlin back.
Yes. That's been a long time since we've seen that, I think. And obviously the one at the other helicopter as well, the Whirlwind Stroke H19. Which fetches horrendous money on second hand on certain websites if you can find them. So, it'd be nice to see that kit back. It's actually quite a nice kit. to be honest. So I might probably grab myself one of them before they go again.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
It is a nice little kit, and then obviously the new tooled Mackie. Love it. So joins the one they did last year.
Yes,
down the Italian fighter route. But on there that stands out for me, which has come out, which I've actually built, and I want to build another one, is that old Bedford QL, the gun porty thing.
Yeah,
that's an old kit, but I don't know. It's just one of them cool things, I think. So yes,
very nice, very cool. Right, okay. What have we got on the next page? Bit of armour,
some more armour. Yeah,
the D-Day anniversary.
Yeah, I think there's a few of them, isn't there? A few D-Day anniversary things coming out.
Down in here as well. So we've got the Tiger and the landing craft.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dragon will release all theirs next year.
Yes.
So it's an joke. What it was is they missed the boat completely for the moon landing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like all the anniversary stuff turned up a little bit later. So this is their new range, which obviously is getting very, very popular these days, of the new 56 scale stuff.
Yes.
Obviously wargaming scale, I think they call it.
Yeah.
But as you can see, got some new ones down from them as well. So some nice bits coming down in those.
See how it up against Rubicon stuff and that, compared to that, because that is nice, to be honest, the Rubicon intent stuff. That's really good quality stuff. But again, they've kind of jumped on that bandwagon, so...
But if you do want nice weekend builds, things like that, they're great. Absolutely love them. I think they're great. Those and the Rubicon ones, they're just dream kits. Yeah,
but they've definitely gone all in, because they've done a few. What is the 6th that releases there, and then another page full, is it?
I can't remember now, but they're on the next page. So there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, definitely on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Any others? The starter sets,
the F-22 down the bottom. So they're saying that's new as well.
Yes. And again, that's one that, considering the F-35 is, it took its while to sort of find its feet, but now the kit's absolutely everywhere. We're still very limited when it comes to the Raptor. In 48 scale, what you've got, the old Academy one, or the Segal one, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
In 72nd, there's only a couple around. I think Revell did one.
Academy did they do a 72nd one?
Academy did one, 72nd one, that was it. So
there's not
a lot around for the Raptor.
Yeah. No, so I mean, it's hilarious stuff else. It is improved, I shall say. So interesting.
Yes, definitely. And that's your D-Day lineup for them as well. So some various bits and pieces down in there. So if you fancy joining us for when we do our D-Day weekend, it will be a full-on free to watch and all the rest of it. So we'll be starting on the Thursday, which is the 6th, if I remember rightly. And then we'll be following it through on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do a sort of D-Day commemorative 80th special live build back in when we do that one in June. So it'd be great to have you along with that one. Obviously, the other big news at the moment is this little lump. So do we really need another bloody 109? Just saying. We
do. You can never have enough 109s.
And let's not just have an E to go along with like an early Spitfire. We're going to go the other way round, and they're going to start the latest possible on 109s and work too early. So
I'd like to know the theory behind that, because the K, let's be honest, for 109 is a bit niche. But then I think the Spitfires they've tackled are a bit niche as well, in a way, proper early ones and stuff. But fair play, it looks a nice kit, can't complain.
Yes.
Different, I think.
Yeah, but as we know, this kit's wrong.
Because
it hasn't got the conduit we were talking about.
Yeah, but that was on a 110 and this is a 109.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Right. It got wrong plane.
Simple mistake.
It's a Messerschmitt.
It is a Messerschmitt, that's it. And it is from World War II. That's it, it's fine.
But no, fair play to him. It's why not go for something different? Like say, the norm would have been gone for a G6, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Even if you weren't going to go for an early year, you would have just gone like everybody else in a G6. But no, they've gone late for Case, so fair play to them for that.
I think, as you say, it's one of those ones where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And let's face it, most model manufacturers do a not very well-known one first, which I really still don't get the theory to that. Is it perhaps that if it's bad, they can correct it later on? Or if... I just don't understand the theory of releasing the worst one first.
Yeah, I don't get that theory. I tell her that I probably could get that theory a few years ago when life was different, shall we say? The market was different, and you knew
Yes.
you'd get sales. But now, with how things are going, you need something just to cash in on, don't you?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we often said that the whole reason for Wingnut Wings' demise is because they didn't have a cash cow and they were dealing with a niche subject. And I got a lot of flack for that at the time. People saying, "Oh, it's not a niche subject." I feel no, you don't, because in the great scheme of it, if you look, how many people just build World War One stuff? They are in the minority of the hobby as a thing. And like, I've built them, yes, and I've done what, 4 over the last couple of years. String baggy things, and it's one of those things, is that it's quite a niche. But I think if they had a cash cow, like Qatari have done,
yeah,
of literally say, have a Spitfire, have a 109, we said it before, have a Mustang, have a Zero or something. They're your cash cows, because they're the kits that are going to sell every day of the week, because people just love that, and you're going to go in. Then you go off and do your
left
more
field
fancy stuff.
Yeah,
Field stuff.
absolutely. I know what you mean.
And
Yeah.
so, from a business point of view, I can completely understand where Qatari have gone for on this one.
Yeah.
It's just it's that thing about versions. I don't know. If you're going to go with a cash cow, just grab that one that everybody wants and then go in afterwards. But as I say, they know more than we do. We just build them. They have to fund them and all the rest
Yeah,
of it.
well,
So
that's it. Research.
somebody on a PayPal spreadsheet has got it worked out.
The way I look at it is from obviously a manufacturer as well. You know how like Qatari has put that out. Is, as we know, Luftwaffe stuff World War Two can get very heated on details and colours and the little nuances, shall we say, of different versions at different times from a different factory from whatever year it is. Because people, Spitfires, I don't think get as much flack. I think there is that, but I don't think it's as bad as when you get into 109s and 190s. I could be wrong, but from sitting here doing this review for how many years, the Luftwaffe stuff gets a lot more heat, I think, especially from manufacturers anyway, if it's a bit off.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's a part of that reason, though, is because obviously there isn't many of them around. So references also are very, very difficult. Whereas obviously Spitfires, there's enough of them floating around, and there's enough old spare parts to check things against and various things.
Yeah. And I suppose
Whereas obviously
P-51's the same as a lot of them. I mean, how many Spitfires did we see on Saturday at Duxford? Squadron full, I reckon, in one angle, weren't there?
Oh yeah,
Every
absolutely.
version. So they could be that, because they are a rare beast, aren't they? So yeah.
Because even the one we saw in there isn't one of theirs anyway. It's a Spanish one, isn't it? It's got
it's the Bouchon, isn't it? Yeah, I think
Bouchon.
obviously the crashed early one is an original one, isn't it? That's a proper one.
Yeah, that's a proper E, isn't it, from back in the day?
But there were no others, were there? As in a G or a K or even an F. I think that's Cosford's got an F, have they? Is Cosford's an F? I think it is. I think Cosford's got an F.
I think it is. Yes.
And I don't know what have Hendon got 109 wise, because I know they've got 111. They've got a bit of Back Britain stuff, haven't they? 109, 111.
Yeah, they've got the HE 111 there and the Stuka, haven't they, and all of that. I don't know, actually. To be honest, we've been discussing this. We're going to have to go back there because we haven't seen it. For a long, long time.
No.
But yeah, there it is. That's their one they've got there.
Yeah, it's a Bouchon, in it, with a Merlin engine.
Yes.
So
it was fine in the film.
Well,
is that one from the film, or is that just one that was brought later on?
Idea.
I haven't got any more photos. It didn't take a lot, hundreds of photos of it, really. But yeah.
No.
But no, very, very interesting. Very, as I say, I think as you say, things with German stuff, it gets quite heated and quite debated, and I think sometimes manufacturers get absolutely caned for the tiniest detail, which I think is unfair, because you say people give them a lot less flack for Spitfires and Hurricanes and things like that. You're obviously always going to get flack when you design anything. You're going to get chewed, but it's one of those. I think the entire thing of 109s and 110s and stuff like that, and say 190s, you can't do right for doing wrong on those. And it must be very, very frustrating for the manufacturers when you're trying to get all the details right. Because you can't cover everything. Like we said before, it's one of those things. You can't think of absolutely every detail, because unless you are blood flows through you for a particular subject, and I've had it where people have said to various companies, "Oh, you should have come to me because I'm a total expert onto it and all the rest of it. And it, it doesn't quite work like that. That's the thing. Sometimes, yes, it would be nice if you knew somebody who knows everything about such and such. And I know for a fact, because we've spoken to about it, Airfix do reach out to people who are in the know, but clearly sometimes there's things, money, let's face it. You can only go to detail so long because, again, you can't spend years in development. Because obviously, as we know, some of these other manufacturers, even that 109, they're talking about next year. Really, I think they're playing safe. They're saying 24, 25, but I guarantee it's probably going to be 25. I'd be surprised if it is. It's going to be December. Yeah. So they've been working on that a while anyway. No, I think it's just one of those things. You can easily get, I think, caught up in all the little details, which is something we don't do on this channel so much.
No. I mean, there's a comment on one of ours about the HK 820. John's building one into it at the minute, and all the detail, he's noticed it, all the detail that's inside that you don't see, you've got it with that, haven't you? There's a lot of detail in that, again, that you're not really going to see. And, we've gone from one extreme to the other, where people crying out for cockpit detailing the kit, they've got it, and now they're moaning because now it's too much. Isn't it? So the manufacturers have listened and gone, okay, we'll put you an interior in. I mean, we could take the Airfix B24 that's coming out, and I know they've done it with the B17, the Shackleton, the Wellington, most of their bombers, I think, new bombers, have got pretty much full interior.
Yeah.
Which is, one thing Airfix kits back in the day never had, is it? You're lucky to get a floor, a seat, and a stick. And then people are, yeah, but I'm doing all this, and you're not going to see any of it. Well, you wanted it. You've got it. Don't moan about it.
At least if they're still doing it. Do you remember when the Wellington got released, though, in the instructions? I remember doing the review, and it's like, if you don't want to build it, you can just put in this generic part.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I was about to say, at least Airfix give you the option, didn't they? Colour it in red, or to you can leave it out. Or
you can leave it out, or you get a generic bit which just goes across instead of putting 10 bits together. So,
Yeah. Again, you've got it with the armour. I mean, armour kits is the same, where it's some of it you're never ever going to see, however much put in, but it's there in it. So shouldn't moan. You shouldn't moan about it. Should be thankful that the technology there and the design and whatever is capable of doing it now. Because obviously, way back when we were wee little kids, it was all pen and paper and proper draftsmen, really, weren't it? Rather than
on a big slopey board.
And obviously the limit of technology of injection moulding.
Absolutely.
That was definitely a factor, weren't it? And again, that's come on leaps and bounds in the last 50 years. Obviously.
And again, that's one factor I think people don't take into account sometimes, is that they say, they could just mould it in one. And this is a thing that's I've been spoken to a lot about, and people have said to me about, why is that in 10 bits when you could just mould it in one? And then you always get that one with like, such and such company moulds it in one, so why didn't they? It cost. As I say, when we've spoken to them as well, is that, it depends if the company wants to put in an expensive tooling to be able to do it in one, or it's a lot cheaper to do it in 4 bits. So, but the price is going to be passed on to you, the modeller, at the end of the day. So you're in that situation of saying, you want everything, but you don't want to pay the price. So we're going to give it to you in a multi-part, which you're going to have to put together to get it at that price, and then get moaned at. And I think that's always the little sort of thing you'll get, is that, and I know we've spoken about other kits in the past, and we won't name them directly, but, it's done for parts count. I don't think any manufacturer would do it for parts count, and I'll tell you why. It's because parts count costs money. The higher the parts count, the more tooling you've got, the more expensive it's going to be. They want it to be as cheap as possible. Obviously, the tooling cost, the production costs and everything else that go through with it. So I can't imagine any company would say, do you know what, Derek? Don't do it in 1 bit, do it in 10, because that gets us over the threshold of 100 parts in this kit. I don't think anyone's ever actually said that. I think it's one of those myths that goes around the internet, which somebody probably started, probably me. And before you know it, everyone's saying it. And it's like, no, I don't think it's quite like that at the end of the day. But what we're getting these days, though, if you probably haven't noticed, is detail on kits is just going up and up and up. And unfortunately, because the price of raw materials is going up and up, and the world we live in at the moment, let's face it, it's not the most stable place. Obviously the kit costs are now going up and up and up. And like I said before, it's not going to jinx it, but paint and sundries at the moment are sort of holding, but we know kit prices seem to be jumping up, and obviously me and Matt have been looking through some of our stuff for future releases coming down the line, and the prices, what we were expecting them to be and what they are now. It's not just a couple of quid which we as a company would absorb. We're now into the thing of like, how much? That's getting expensive.
It has been
it's a huge jump in some of the prices. But again, we are getting better detail. These aren't kits, as I say, as much as I love Monogram, they're not just, together and away you go. These are complex kits, obviously complex research that's going into them and all the different things. And I think that's where costs are starting to spiral, shall we say. Things do come at a price.
Hyper detail we get now, don't we?
It's what I call it, isn't it? It's hyper detailing kits. And again, if you want to throw aftermarket at them, it used to be that thing. I remember wincing at the amount of money I spent on that bloody Mosquito. There's the Tamiya Mosquito, and for some stupid harebrained, I don't know if it was alcohol or I wasn't feeling well, but I decided to throw everything at that kit. But the thing is, technically, in those days, I think it was about 150, 160 quid kit. Then I threw 200 quid's worth of aftermarket at it. And by the time it all came in, because obviously, this is my job, I budget, and it came through, the entire build was north of 400 quid. So, and you're like, really? And afterwards I was kicking myself because there was nothing wrong with the interior. There's nothing wrong with the engines. They're actually really nice. Just a bit of wiring, you'd be good to go. The Bombay in that, to be honest, no one sees it anyway. And the tyres, they're brilliant. But then I went aftermarket for all of those said items. And it was like, yeah, but it's completely hyper detailed. But you've got a kit costing you best part of 500 quid these days. Because that kit now is a very expensive kit. And if you wanted to do it now, it costs you over 500 quid to do it.
It would. Yeah, and like I say, a lot of it you didn't need, did you? It was just...
No, not at all.
Was it a vanity project?
It probably was a vanity. I don't know. You know what it's like? Sometimes when you're building a project, you're working on a nice kit like the Tamiya one, you still think, I tell you what, it would be really nice if we just hyper detail it. And that was probably one of the last times that I did it. We've hyper detailed other kits. Famously did it on the 190, wasn't it? Through all the aftermarket. But it was a 30 quid kit. That's what I'm saying. So you chucked a shed load of money at it, and that kit came out absolutely brilliant with every detail and every nut and bolt. We even put re-riveted the entire thing. We tried to use raised rivets, but it didn't work. But we did everything else with it. And again, came out with something really nice. But I think the problem is nowadays, kits are expensive to start with. And when you're throwing aftermarket, so I think people are just being a little bit more selective. I personally am, definitely. Classic examples, this thing, Marset, because it needs it, and I put in the colour 3D printed space instrument panel into it. I'm even thinking about putting the Browning machine guns into it still, getting the brass ones, because they are really nice, and they're on all my other ones. They're like a worthy upgrade.
Yeah, that's probably a worthy upgrade, because they're not overly expensive, are they? Let's put
no,
their master gun barrels are such worth the money for what they are. They're such an upgrade on the styrene.
Yes.
Example.
No, definitely. Styrene gun barrels just don't work with heat jackets and stuff like that. They just don't look nice in plastic. No. But you get them in a bit of brass, they are very, very nice. So I probably will end up sticking them on this one as well, purely from that point of view. But yes, you could do aftermarket engines. Yes, you could do aftermarket everything. There's got a lot of aftermarkets available for this particular kit. But nowadays, from a personal point of view, I probably wouldn't throw it all at it. But at home, if you've got a project and it's your, big long-term project and you want to hyper detail something, then go for your life, But
at least the choice is there, isn't there? That, again, it's not what we've said before. The choice is now, the modelling world that we live in, you have got the option if you do want to go super detailing or you want to build it box standard, where obviously, again, 25 years ago, whenever, 30 years ago, you're scratching around for bits of aftermarket resin and scratch building your own, and it's a different world, isn't it? It's a completely different world and a different hobby in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things you don't hear very often these days is that it needs such and such. It needs a seat. It needs a back form canopy. It needs this, because otherwise it's just awful. Modern kits these days, they're okay straight out of the box. But I remember, obviously, 80s and 90s. You've got that thing of flicking through the Hannon's catalogue because there was no internet. And you're looking up for stuff because full well that kit needs that, because the seat's all for it hasn't got one. It's just a bit of L plastic. And various things. And I remember when I was doing commission work, I used to bulk buy ejector seats for various aircraft. So, Martin Baker Mark 7s, I used to buy maybe 50 because I knew I'd go through them, 2 at a time. It's only 25 builds. I'll just buy a bulk load when they came in the country. And, I remember doing it for the little Skyhawks as well. Was it True Details seats? I remember getting a bucket full of them in for those ones, because again I used to build loads of them, so they were the seats that needed to be in. And Hasegawa kits, as we know, are really nice, those ones, but if you want to take it to the next level up and you don't want to have to scratch build it, then an aftermarket seat's probably the way to do it. These days I feel like mask sets are pretty much a must, especially if you're doing something like this. If you're doing a modern jet, no, I wouldn't, but anything which has got glazing, I just can't be bothered. In the old days, I was probably the worst one to go cheapskate. It's like, put some work in. Nowadays, no, I can't be bothered anymore.
It's a no-brainer.
Well, it took only to do all of this was probably an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously, if I'd done it my way in the old days, that's probably a day's work. So, and for £7 or whatever they are, it was.
Well, it is again. Even if you're a hobbyist and not a professional, it's still the time's money thing. Unless you really enjoy doing it, then that's fine. But if you've got limited time, like I always say, if you're a limited time, you go to work, you've got families, you've got commitments, blah 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 blah. That is a time saving.
Yes.
Tool in it. A mask set is a time saving thing because it's already kind of done for you. You've just got to match the shapes to the glass work. Happy days, you're into them priming paint wherever you need to be. So yeah, for me it's for doing aircraft, there's an exception, and the Hamptons one, because there's no mask set for that, so I have got to manually do it, which I'm absolutely dreading. But anything else,
is there one for the Halifax? Is there actually? Does anyone do one for the Halifax? No, that's going to be a manual.
No, me and you are manually just got.
And it's onto vac form.
And it's onto vac form. That's just going to be hell on earth. That isn't it? Really, it's going to be horrible. But I think it'll be worth it in the end. I'm hoping. But yeah, it's just one, especially World War II bombers with lots of glazing. It's just a bit of a no-brainer to me. Even if you don't bother with interior stuff and whatever mask set for what it is, all day, every day.
It's just a complete time saver, and obviously it's neater than I can do it. And I think that's where I am now with aftermarket. As I sit here right now and like 51 years old, it's that thing where I'm like, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and my hand painting's been awful and never been good. So it's that thing about where I can buy a aftermarket. Some of them are very expensive, but a lot of them you can buy cheaper options to do a colour photo etch instrument panel. And obviously in a bomber like this, you can see it quite clearly. It's one of those things, you look in, you're going to be seeing it. So I'm thinking, well, look, we could pop one of those in. That would be a nice little worthy upgrade to it. And also I think as well with the mask set, to try and get it as neat and as crisp and as sharp is something I couldn't do these days. And again, I always say, you play to your strengths, know your limitations. And if there's a cheap and easy, quick fix for anything, why wouldn't you take it?
Well, that's what I don't get. If something's been invented that makes your life easier, why would you not use it? That's the way I look at it. Whatever genre of you're doing, not just this hobby, but in life in general, if somebody's put something there and it's going to make the job an easier job to do, well then you take it, don't you?
Go with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, why struggle on when you don't need to? I've never got my head around that. Just working, in other job and stuff. It's, if there's an easier, quicker way of doing it, then use that.
Yeah.
Don't always say the old ways are the best, eh?
No, that's it. As I say, it's that old thing about always listen to new things because it might be really good.
Yeah, but absolutely shite, and then you
can't. Most of it is just reinventing the wheel,
but yeah, anyway.
With me, until somebody invents a real, and I know everyone says, but honestly, I've tried them all, none of them are a shrink-free instant filler. Then I'll be happy with that.
Super glue.
And that's why I still use super glue. That's literally, I did it on this, did the spine on this, it's super glue. Because again, until I can find that one that is shrink-free, they all say it, really. Come back in 6 months and show me, and then, but it's one of those ones where, but everyone says about, this, that, and the other, and sometimes, as I say, good old-fashioned super glue and talc for filler, good to go, instant, does well.
Yeah.
So yes, cool. Right, so we have a quick look around the shop.
Quick scoot round shop.
Scoot round shop.
If we would like to go to special offers, we put this up last week. We are selling off our Profi Pack kits. So our Edard Profi Pack kits are going. As you can see, we did sell quite a few over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think Phil mentioned it, but they're going to be up. We'll probably leave them up until this weekend because we've got some other stuff to put up in its place. But if you want to grab them quick because once they've gone, they've gone.
Mm-hmm.
So nice
they're a really nice price. As I say, good prices. You're roughly around about 26 quid. Some are a little bit more, but again, some very, very nice ones down in there. We've got the Blundersbird one as well. Yeah,
got a lovely Tornado IDS and obviously the Spitfire VC Trop with its cool box art. I say plenty of stuff in there if you're interested. So, and again, the old Guns Bunny there, which is a nice little mini version of Phil's, is the Asagala kit rebox. So, cracking kit, base kit, and all the bits and bobs you always get with these limited editions. So yes, so if that's your thing, come grab them. That'd be good.
Grab them whilst you can because they're down in there. So yes, we got those ones. The
books on Friday. So we've got books in, new books as well, which is the Dayco, obviously F16 books in, that US, that sold out, but we're getting them back in. They'll be back in shortly, to be honest. A lot of them have gone over the weekend, so they're going to come back in. But
Dayco books, highly recommend them. I've got them all, and I've had them for years.
Yeah, so, we have got books in, honest. Everything's sold out.
I'm just picking on the one. Don't forget, usual thing though, guys, just poke your name down and we'll get it back in. So what it is, we'll get it back in. You don't get charged or anything, and then literally just pop your name down in here, click the sign up, and then what happens is, as soon as it comes back in stock, you'll get an email saying it's here, and you get a link to it as well, and you can come straight back in and buy it. Yeah. But yes, it has been very popular, because obviously we mentioned these, but some very nice ones as well.
Books are all going really well for us. We did have some new books in. Are they down the bottom? What's down the bottom? I don't know where they got put.
Phantom one's a new one, isn't it?
That's a new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. European
NATO
Operators.
Phantoms. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is looks a nice book. Nice books they are, aren't they? Them real.
Yeah, the Phoenix ones are nice. Yeah, definitely.
And we did have another one. I can't remember what it was. For the life of me, it should be down there somewhere, I think.
Lightning, Griffin, Weasels. I can't remember now. Or was it that one? The Air Mark one?
That could be it. F-15s. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other one. So
very nice as well.
Into them, yeah. Like I say, books are coming and going all the time. So if you're into your books, keep an eye out because that is expanding pretty rapidly at the minute. Our little bookshop.
The thing is, obviously, at the moment, just because obviously we're costing that, we can't afford to take on like hundreds of them. So we only bring in a couple at a time. But obviously, as we feel that obviously they're going well, we will bring in more.
Yeah.
But because it's new to us, we're just feeling it out as well. But if you pop your name down, it gives us a better idea on what you guys want as well. Yeah. So it gives us a little bit of feedback for us to get more in.
Just last off, if you just go to Damage Boxes, I think it might be. Is it Damage Boxes? I can't remember which one it is. Oh, the Escort. We've really reduced the Escort Zac speed if anybody wants one. We mentioned it last Thursday because somebody was on about making a car, weren't they? Wanted to build a car. Yeah. So we've got them up for 22 quid. I mean, the boxes are slightly damaged. If anything, it's hardly like they crushed to bits and, everything inside's okay. But yeah, we had a few of them and we just obviously had a bit of a clear out. So again, if you want to build this is an old Esky kit that's been Phil's, built a few of them in the past. Yeah. Really enjoyable, really simple, just a nice, easy thing to do. And obviously it's
a proper nice weekend build. There's nothing, as you say.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing taxing about them, is there?
They're basic, but they go together really, really well.
Yeah. Again, curbside, no engines and stuff, but
no.
Again, who wants that anyway? Again, we've got paintbrushes in. Obviously, I've showed you the paintbrushes. I've been using them, the Vallejo paintbrushes. We've got a restock of Attacker coming tomorrow. We've got a restock of Tamiya stuff coming tomorrow. That's paints and tools and glue and bits and bobs. And also, probably by the end of the week, we are going to get another probably SMS paint ordering. Mr. Hobby stuff. So again, paints and sundries and stuff. We're on it this week. So
fair enough.
So yeah, all good really.
Very nice.
And
Very
obviously,
cool.
usual kits 12% off retail on all other kits that are not in the sale department.
Yeah, so
Nothing in
basically
the
any
new.
one of them
Go
down
on,
in
sorry.
here. So yeah, anything down in here. So if you come along
Oh,
and you know,
yes. Just while I think, just VMS, we've had a VMS restock, so the glues are in and the clear coats and other bits from VMS, smart mud, stuff like that. So yeah, just while I remember.
very nice. Very,
Yeah.
very cool.
All
So you
good.
get all your bits down in there.
Yeah.
Very good. Right you go then. We will leave it right there. So keep an eye out, obviously, this week for these particular reviews. They'll be up there for the Gerald Ford Carrier and obviously for the Bradley. I'll get them up with you this week as their way through. As I say, probably going to get the next part up on the actual B25, be up with you on Friday. But if not, it'll be the Gladiator because I'm going to be starting on that tomorrow as well. So there's loads to come up day. I'll be with you tomorrow for a little vlog, one of my little mini vlogs. And I'll do another one on Thursday for you as well. So there'll be a couple of little mini vlogs up with you. And then I'll be back with you on Friday for, say, next video part and for the actual roundup show as well. So, yes, good job. Very nice. Right, okay then, guys, we will leave it right there. So, happy modelling. Take care. We'll see you soon. Say goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye.
Bye.